Now, Mr. Hegseth, you have written that after they retire, generals should be banned from working for the defense industry for 10 years. You and I agree on the corrosive effects of the revolving door between the Pentagon and defense contractors. It's something I would have liked to talk with you about if you'd come and been willing to visit with me. But the question I have for you on this is, will you put your money where your mouth is and agree that when you leave this job, you will not work for the defense industry for 10 years?
Senator, it's not even a question I've thought about because it's not one
about it right now.
It's not one. My motivation for this job.
I understand
has never
that. I
been
just
about
need
what
a
could
yes or no
conceivably
here.
come next.
Time is short. I just need a yes or no.
I would consult with the president about what the policy should be
In
at the Defense
other
Department.
words, you're quite sure that every general who serves should not go directly into the defense industry for 10 years, but you're not willing to make that same pledge?
I'm not a general, Senator.
You'll be the one, let us just be clear, in charge of the generals?
Absolutely amazing. This is, oh my God, this is coming from Senator Elizabeth Warren, who is absolutely out to lunch 99% of the time. And she's one of these people that should have been term limited years ago. She is a clown at best. So you just saw Elizabeth Warren getting laughed at during the Senate confirmation of Pete Hegseth. She's a complete moron. Should have been term limited years ago. And somehow she's one of these people, you know, and I've said this before, Republicans generally, not all now, let's be honest, not all, but Republicans generally go into office to help make things better. Democrats go into office to be there the rest of their life and to get wealthy. I mean, if you don't believe me, just look at them. AOC, and I've said this before, she's been in Congress, 4 years? 4 years? Was a bartender. 4 years or 6 years, one or the other. I think 4 years. She was a bartender. Now she's worth over $20 million. And I'm going to tell you right now, in 10 years, where do you think AOC is going to be? Right where she's at. Because Democrats can't do anything else. Once they get into office, that's where they're at. And they amass fortunes while they're in there by scratching other people's backs. Because the Democrat Party, like I said, is definitely the party of the rich liberal elites. And they like that title. That's why they lost the election. That's exactly why they lost the election. But then you have Senator Warren here, who's sitting here trying to grill Pete Hegseth. She looks like a complete idiot. They start laughing at her. And to make things even worse, and this is the part that absolutely kills me, I tried to find a clip of this and I couldn't find it. I'm sure one will be popping up here anytime, and I'll see if I can track it down. But it was when she was wrapping up her part of the confirmation of Pete Hegseth. She literally said to him, I don't understand how somebody can change their values in 32 days. Since Donald Trump has put you up for this position, it seems like some of your core values have changed. And that absolutely floored me. And all I could think was, did you not support Kamala Harris? Did you not vote for Kamala Harris? The very person who, within 90 days, completely abandoned everything that she believes in and flip-flopped on every single topic in this world. On every one. And Senator Warren, who has the audacity to tell Pete Hegseth, I've never seen somebody do that. I've never seen somebody abandon their principles and just completely flip-flop. And Kamala Harris literally abandoned everything she stood for and completely flip-flopped on everything. On everything just to try to win the presidency. So let's take a quick count here on what's going on with Kamala Harris and her flip-flopping. And the only reason I'm doing this is because this shows the absolute true hypocrisy of the Democrats. Like I said, she had the audacity to call out Pete Hegseth on this. Not one time did she sit here and think, well, you know what? If I say this, then maybe people are going to come back and say, hey, you know, what about Kamala Harris, who flip-flopped literally on everything in her entire life? Everything she believed in, she threw out the window to run for president. So Kamala Harris, she flip-flopped on EVs, completely flip-flopped on them. She flip-flopped on gun control. She flip-flopped on energy. She flip-flopped on fracking. She flip-flopped on taxes. She flip-flopped on the border. She flip-flopped on illegal immigration. I mean, everything that she stood for 4 years prior her becoming the worst vice president in history, throughout the 4 years of her being vice president. And then when they kicked Joe Biden to the curb, they tossed her up into the limelight. She literally changed her policy on everything. But the problem is there was too much video and audio out there for her to refute what she was saying. She can't sit there and say, hey, people don't want EVs. They don't have to buy EVs. EVs aren't the answer to everything. When just 2 years later, she was one of the ones to jump on board with Joe Biden's EV mandate. She can't sit there and say, you know what? I own a gun. I own a Glock. I have a Glock. You come in my house, I'm going to shoot you. I'm not going to come after your guns, when they literally have her on video in California saying, you know what? We may not take your guns, but we will walk into your house to make sure they're locked up. Yeah, that's coming after your guns. So I'm going to tell you right now, what good is a gun that is locked up in your house when you need it immediately? Not very good. Not very good at all. And then she, on energy, Donald Trump had Americans' energy rocking and rolling. As soon as Joe Biden and Kamala Harris step into office, the first thing they do is 97 executive orders against energy. As soon as they go in there, he signs 97 executive orders on day one. And not all 97 were against energy, but the bulk of them were. And it shut down a lot of what Trump was doing. Hence the inflation that came on 2 years later from Joe Biden. Kamala Harris was right there, right on top of every one of them. Yes, got to get them. Green, green, green. Got to get our green agenda pushed. Got to, climate change killing everything. And then when she runs for president, completely changes her entire story on energy. Her entire story. This is the damnedest thing I've ever seen in my life. Elizabeth Warren literally calls out Hegseth for saying, hey, you've changed some of your fundamental values since you've gotten this job. Not even thinking the person she supported for presidency literally abandoned every single thing she had believed in her entire life just to try to buy votes to win the presidency of the United States.